Jesus Freak here, and first I'm going to apologize for that video where the microphone just didn't work. It was Windows 10 being Windows 10. You see, I have 4 different devices I shoot videos on. I have my cell phone, I have this computer, which is a netbook that folds up into a tablet. I have a proper laptop, and I have my desktop, which is a USB webcam that I got secondhand from one of my friends. I do have other equipment that's not connected. And honestly, Windows has been the only system that's ever given me grief over over my hardware. I run Linux, everything's fine. So, like I said before, I was a bit afraid to install Linux on the other laptop at first, but that's what's on there now. Anyway, what was basically in that video was, first of all, I was showing off this mug that I had made up with my logo on it. And second, I had gotten this, which I had special ordered for a friend of mine. Now, I'll show you the outside. It's typical, Nelson faux cover. But I paid $13.48 specifically, and it's the same thing as this. It's exactly the same as this, except the cover isn't as fancy. My friend had seen it and saw, it's got a nice little 8-point type. I've shown this in other reviews. And it's a nice basic little Bible with a reference suite. And she, like me, has a strong preference for the King James Version. Her everyday carry, or at least the one she takes to church with her, is a hardcover Collins Iona. And in fact, when I met her, that's what I noticed, because as I had just gotten a couple weeks before that a Collins Iona of my own. The comfort text that Pastor Brett and I have both got, and I think we've both done reviews of on our channels, is a blow-up of the Iona. It's a nice basic Bible. Bare bones. Now, the reason that I deleted the video was because someone revealed, I didn't realize this when I uploaded it, but there was no audio. And I was like, well, that explains why there was no light on the webcam, because usually when I'm using the webcam, there's a blue light at the top. But I deleted the video when I realized what had happened. And you might ask, if I took that Lenovo, put Debian on it, I got my print server that runs Debian. Why am I running Windows 10 on my other Dell? Well, there's one particular program I use. It's called AVSP Mod. It's a script editor for a video editing program I use. Now, most of you people, if you're going to be editing videos, you're not going to be using something like hazelnut because, it's script driven. It doesn't make sense if you're producing YouTube videos. For someone like me, where most of the videos I produce are for, I take DVDs of anime and I'll make MP4s out of them, or I'll take HD TV rips and I'll clean them up. Yeah, it's a good tool for that. And apparently it's really finicky when it comes to running under Wine on either Linux or on a Macintosh. Sometimes, some versions it'll work, some versions it won't. And it's hit or miss. I have a friend in Portugal who I believe he runs it on a Macintosh. And he said, you really got to be careful what version of Wine you're running it on. Because sometimes it just crash. The rest of the system either runs fine under Wine or doesn't even need Wine. But that part is so finicky that I had no choice but to run it on actual Windows. That may change in the future. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like the week is just blown by. Probably because I spent most of it either in bed or trying to get in bed because, well, I share the couch with my cat, and she wants her way, if she wants to crash out on the bed, she ain't moving. And, I spoil her, but, that's just, I love cats. I always have. Probably won't get another one when she's gone, but there's been a lot of times, I had to wait a couple hours to go to bed because she lies on the bed right in the middle. She thinks she's a person, but cats. I've been trying to get back to work on a computer project that I abandoned several years ago, and don't think I still have any trace of the old code. And honestly, I'm just as lost now as I was then. So, see if my friend's got any ideas. My friend in Poland. That's right, Zdebble. That's a shout out to you if you're watching. Maybe he's got some pointers. Speaking of which, just shipping. Just to send a Bible to Poland. It's ridiculous. That said, a decent Holman sent to Poland is probably cheaper than buying something closer to them and having it shipped, because other options like, your Cambridges and your R.L. Allens, and those are expensive. Well, maybe I could have considered the possibility of getting a TBS. And I mean, as much as I don't agree dogmatically with TBS, local church, or church Bible publishers, I still buy from them, because let's face it, there's not much you can do better than them at their price point. If you're going to go up a stage in price point, you got Cambridge branded Cambridge. I mean, most of TBS's Bibles are actually Cambridge, but an actual Cambridge Bible is going to run you a little more. And then you have R.L. Allen. And of course, R.L. Allen has its issues, especially with the types of people who are so hung up on their pure Cambridge edition of 1900 that they'll look at the capitalization of the word Spirit in 1 John 5:8, and if it's capitalized, they'll burn the Bible. I swear, some of these King James only types cause so much division. As with allies like these, who needs the devil? Ugh. Well, anyways, that's what's been up, so Jesus freak out.